All right, folks, welcome into another brand new edition of the 901 Soccer Podcast. We are joined by a very special guest today. It's the head coach of the University of Memphis women's soccer program. It's Brooks Monaghan. Coach, how are you doing today?
Good, man. Good. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to have you. So there's a lot going on right now. We're getting real close to the start of another season. The biggest thing, I guess, is a change on the South Campus that's really been spearheaded by the success of your program. You guys are getting a new stadium. Of course, that was announced last year, but about a week and a half ago now, the deconstruction finally started. So I guess my two questions are: obviously, it's very exciting, but what are the plans for this year now that the actual stands are no longer with us? And then what is the timetable for the completion of this project?
Yeah, no, it's pretty exciting. It's I sent a message to Dr. Scott, right, our athletic
Hmm.
director, the other day, saying, some people would call this a pile of rubble. I call it a Picasso, right, to see those stands finally go down. But they're wrapping up, cleaning everything out as we speak. They should be done in the next few days. But in regards to the season, yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be bringing in portable stands. Um, you know, it for the big games, right? Obviously, and we've got some big ones this
Hmm.
year that we're hosting. Tennessee, Ole Miss, just to name a couple. But we're really going to be putting it out there. Listen, bring your lounge chair, right? Because there won't be enough portable seats out there for everybody. But this is temporary,
Hmm.
and it's for a very good cause, right? Of
Hmm.
what's coming. So, just to give you a little bit, the final there's a word for them, but the final drawings, right, from our architects have to be completed by the end of August, and then
Okay.
once they're completed, they will get sent to the state, right, for final approval. And then it is my understanding once that happens, once we get the final approval, they will then begin construction. Hopefully, that's sooner than later for sure.
All right, all right. And then obviously there's still once the facility is built, there's still you guys are still looking for potential donors or sponsors or people who are interested in having their name associated with certain parts like the locker room or the boot room or the film room and that sort of thing. So just tell folks where they can go to donate if that's something that they're interested in.
Yeah, no, we're in a great place with our fundraising, but yes, we are still taking donations. We haven't, when this project first started, some things have changed, and you know, um, it started as like phase one was new grandstands and locker room lounge for the women, but Dr. Scott uh, decided to lump in phase three, which was adding the men's side. So which is very smart thing to do, right? But like I said, fundraising is going very well. But yeah, for those people that still want to donate, please go to lisaslight.org, or they can call me personally. They can email me, they can call me. But yeah, it's everything is going smooth. I think you had asked earlier about how long does the project start.
Mhm.
Um, what's been said is once they start the project, put a shovel in the ground, hopefully it's somewhere between 8 to 12 months, right?
Okay.
There's always nothing ever goes 100% smooth, but obviously I believe in our contractor, but Grinder Tabor and Grinder Brett Grinder will be the one building it, and yeah, man, just super excited for all this that's happening.
So obviously that's one of the biggest changes going on, but it's not the only change. There was you've got a new addition to your coaching staff. Tell us about how that came about.
Yeah, Coach Rocky joined us officially. I think it was late February, somewhere middle of February. He took over for Jordan Darling, who was with us for several years, and I've known Coach Rocky for a long time. He's originally from Canada, but he was previously at Kent State. And I've known for a while. I had known for a while that Jordan was going to be moving on, so we kind of courted. Rocky for about a year, and he's been a great addition. He got to spend the spring with us. Um, he checks so many boxes. Not only is he a very good coach, but he's a great recruiter. So he's a perfect fit for what we were looking for.
And so the biggest talking point, I guess we could call it, is the schedule that you guys have been able to put together for this season. That was something at one of the Tigers on Tour events you spoke and kind of dropped a couple hints about who might be showing up out at South Campus this year. But you've got, you had mentioned Ole Miss and Tennessee, but you've also got Vanderbilt and Missouri coming here. You're going on the road to Iowa State, who you guys have played over the last several years, and that game might have just a little bit more juice after the whole
Yeah.
latest round with the Big 12. But that's you've also got an exhibition against Auburn on August 8th at home. So how do you go about putting together such an impressive schedule?
Well, I mean, obviously, I've done this for a long time, so you get to know a lot of people. But I think one of the things is the success that we've had,
Mm.
right? And there's I think that we're a good game for a lot of people in some of those bigger name schools, right? Because even if they happen to drop the match to us, there are such things as, good losses,
Mhm.
right? So, um, at the end of the day, it's not that hard. We've been able to do some home and home with some teams, but we're blessed to where our program is to be able to get some of these big name schools here, and looking forward to the challenge. And it's crazy. It's just right around the corner.
Now the Tennessee game. That's one that even if you're a Memphian who knows nothing about anything about soccer, you see Memphis versus Tennessee. That's going to get the juices flowing. But there's also the, I guess, extra layer that you guys only lost two games last year, and that was one of them on the road in Knoxville. Does that give the game here just a little bit of extra, like a revenge factor almost?
Yeah, there's always a little bit of that. That was a very close game. We lost 1-0, pretty even match, and they're a good program. They're a very good program, and you can't forget the
Mhm.
past, right? But like I said, that game. Um, and their coach would say the same thing. You could have kind of flipped a coin who won that game. It was a very even game. They happened to get us on the day, but looking forward to definitely the opportunity to play them again and play them at home.
And so obviously that's the schedule. Now we need to talk about some of the players. One of the most impressive things I think about your program is the way you're able to recruit so many quality players from Canada, and then see that turn around and turn into a number of your former players are essentially founding members of the new Northern Super League, the women's professional league in Canada. How big of a point of pride is that for your program? And then maybe even with an eye down the road, how helpful could that be towards future recruiting?
Yeah, no, it's massive, man, and it's been a lot of fun. I actually was texting last night and this morning with one of our former players, former captain Tanya Boychuk, and I asked her to come back for preseason to run the fitness test with us. We were laughing, joking about that. She scored a big goal last night. She was playing against Grace Doherty, and they won. But it's pretty neat. And yeah, we've got, from my understanding, we have the most kids from any college team in that league. And yeah, of course we use that for recruiting. I mean, we're still recruiting heavily in Canada. We've got a few recruits coming in over the next month from Canada, and it's definitely a selling point.
And I would also be remiss if I didn't mention you've got players signing professional contracts, not just in Canada, but a couple of players from last year's team, and Momo Nakao and Sarah Hogg signing for, I believe, Celtic and Valencia in Europe.
Yeah, that's right. And we've got a few others. We've got a couple that are in Iceland, and it's kind of become the norm. Most of our kids, they want to continue to play after college, and obviously there's all different levels of professional soccer. But it's been a lot of fun to see these kids and move on and do the things that they're doing. It's some of these, one professional, but one just all over the world.
And one of the players that's still on the team that is a Memphian, a native Memphian that I believe you said several times is wants to be a professional is Ashley Henderson. Has
Yeah.
anybody had a better spring and summer than Ashley Henderson representing her country at the futsal women's championships and scoring a couple of goals and then having a highlight reel goal to beat Hope Solo at the soccer tournament in Cary, North Carolina?
Yeah, it's Ashley is such a great story, and it's just the growth that I've been able, to witness with her from when she first got here. It's I've never seen one kid grow as much as she has over her career, and she's just going into her junior year. But it did. It started in the spring. She made some decisions that. She really wanted to step it up and set some very high goals. And we've had many of discussions, and man, I'm just so proud of that kid. We've just named her as one of our captains, and just she's special. She's special, and I'm looking forward to not only this season, but just to see where she ends up. Because the sky is truly the limit for that kid.
And I guess the last thing here for today is one of the like talk. I don't know if it's necessarily a talking point, but one of the keys for your team, I guess, is that you keep coming back to the teams over the last several years have had a lot of potential, but potential is just a word. What is the potential for this year's team?
Yeah, I will say, this will be the youngest team that I've ever coached in my 25 going into 26th year. And, going into last spring, I was like, this is going to be a bit interesting. But we ended up having a really good spring. We had some kids that didn't play a whole lot really step up. And that's what we want to see happen. But it doesn't always happen, but we did. We've got a big recruiting class. There's a lot of unknowns with this team. Every
Hmm.
team is different. Sometimes you're returning all of your starters, but this team will definitely be different. But I think they have a lot of potential. Obviously, we haven't got to spend any time with our newcomers. We've got
Hmm.
a few that we're still trying to get into the country. Two Japanese and one German kid that will be here hopefully the end of the month or early August. So on paper, though, you're very excited, but you have to be realistic. And the only thing I can really tell you for sure is it's going to be a very young team, but a team that just basing on the spring, without adding those 12 new players, that I'm really really excited about. Really excited about.
All right. That'll do it for us today, Coach. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we'll
Yeah,
be able to do this a little bit more throughout the season.
love to.
And for everybody that's wondering, the Tigers' first home game is an exhibition against Auburn on August the 8th, and then they have the first regular season on Thursday, August the 14th against Southern Miss. And that is the first game of the season is always senior night. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, the first regular season game will be. And just remember, bring your lounge chairs. Bring your lounge chairs.
All right. Thank you, Coach, and we will see you out there.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Take care.